Boom, boom, boom. All right. Hello, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris. On my right-hand side is my right-hand man, Gabriel.
We got some flakes of snow to bittersweet the snow of Blake.
That's right. And today on the Rock and Roll Podcast, we have Royal Bloom. They've got a new single out, and we're going to be chatting about that as well as some of their previous work and what they've been up to, what to expect from the boys. So I'm really excited to be joined today by Lewis for some more information, as we had said. So, Lewis, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having us here.
Absolutely great to have you guys on. As soon as Dunk sent me the material, I thought, this is cool. And
Dunk's a cool guy, man.
Yeah. Been getting to know him recently, and he's definitely got an exciting roster of bands that he is working with. Royal Bloom being one of them.
Hello. That's us.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to remember what exactly it was. Oh, yeah. If Alice in Chains got into a bar fight with Nirvana, and I thought that couldn't be more perfect.
Yeah. A lot of people seem to like that one. It kind of gives you a kind of taste of what you're going to get before you even listen. So
very true. And I was very curious because I'm like, okay, well, what would that sound like? And as I was listening, I was kind of wondering, is that on purpose? Did you guys set out to do that? Or is it just kind of what happened and somebody coined that term and you thought, yeah, that makes sense?
Yeah, I know. Basically, we've been labeled under those two bands for quite a while since the start. Had this whole sort of idea. The last band went into this band. And ever since I really starting off in the singing when I was like right about 15, 16, people were like, oh, you sound a bit like, so-and-so. And I was like, all right, I didn't even know who these people were at that time, and got into grunge eventually through a couple of people at high school and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, so these are what these people were saying. Because I never even cared to look it up. But yeah, that's kind of where I've fallen onto.
Yeah, very cool. Now, when it comes to the most recent track that has been released called Bittersweet, take us through this track. What is this track about?
Right. Yeah, that's a that's a funny one. That's hey, I'll just go for it. So there was this person that was kind of new in life, and it was something about that smile. And in the lyrics, it's all about the kind of influence they had over people, and especially over myself. And she kind of changed my life for the better. And take it how as you will,
Okay. So basically it's like an infant, like a new person in the world?
No, but it was an ex-girlfriend. It was basically, will this end bitter or sweet? Will it go the long haul, or will it kind of be cut down and that sort of thing? But this was kind of right at the very beginning, early stages. So.
Okay. Very cool stuff. Now, I guess my next question is, because the other track we're going to chat about today, Flakes of Snow, was released, if I understand it, about a year ago?
Yeah. It would have been like August last year. So.
Okay. All right. Almost to the day we're chatting about it.
Jeez, yeah. It's crazy to think about.
At time of recording. Now, Flakes of Snow, what is this track about? Does it snow in Scotland?
No, it's a bit of a... It was a how to put this PG? It was kind of a habit that someone had fallen into that I'd recognized and was very close to me. And they ruined their life over this nasty habit. I mean, tried everything to try push them away from that. And the whole thing kind of sadly didn't work out in the end. Again, a very personal song. Don't normally talk about what our songs are about and stuff, because they all hold such a personal sort of life behind it all. But yeah, normally I like to leave it down to what each and every person listens to and then thinks of it, because it allows us to be kind of morphed from like Play-Doh into their own sort of perspective of how the song fits for them.
Mm-hmm. But, their own man made out of clay. Build it and put the life into it as you see fit. Now, you mentioned that a lot of the songs are very personal. So when you mentioned that, at least these two tracks are very personal, is that something that you always try to bend on? Like as you're writing lyrics, do you say this isn't personal enough and then you scrap it?
No, not normally. Normally with when I'm writing a song, just hit record, get my acoustic guitar out, jam it along in that moment that I'm feeling. And then I'll go back to the recording and I'll write all the the jargon or whatever I've said during that song, and I'll come back to it and it's like, okay. Then I kind of mix and puzzle and say, what is this song actually about? And it's took me it can take a couple months for me to actually figure out what the song's actually about. Even me, I mean, we got a couple of songs that didn't even hit me for like a year or two. So like, okay, I actually get it now. Because you give yourself that time to reflect on it. But yeah, it's strange.
You mentioned sitting down with an acoustic guitar, and I guess in the old days, I'm old, it'd be like a 4-track recorder. You're sitting there with a 4-track tape recorder kind of thing. But the interesting thing is that when I listen to the tracks, I don't hear anything acoustic. So I think it'd be cool to hear how you go through that process. You mentioned even writing a year at a time of going from jamming on an acoustic guitar to busting out, I'm guessing, fuzz pedals or whatever it is you guys do to really get that grungy sound.
Yeah, man. Yeah, everything started off on acoustic guitar, believe it or not. The whole EP, that was written on acoustic, kind of as I was like that, and then I just transposed over to electric. I don't know, it's just kind of how I write, 50% of the time. See what comes and goes, because normally most of the time you're not able to crank up your amp full power, wake up the whole household, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of how I get around it.
Yeah, very, very cool. Now, you mentioned an EP. Is that Under the Bridge?
Yeah, that was that, sir.
Okay, so we've got Under the Bridge, and then a little bit while later we have Flakes of Snow, and then now we have Bittersweet. So I guess my next question is, what is the plan, if there is one, and what should we be expecting down the road, maybe for the rest of 2020 or into 2021?
No, plans are a beautiful thing, man. Well, this year, kind of down the drain, but we took the best advantage that we could, got the album completely finished up. Just need to record the other half of it. Bringing that out as soon as possible. We're just waiting to record the rest half of it as soon as it's safe to do so. Apart from that, all of our gigs for 50% of the year between now and 2021 have been fully booked up in England. So we're gigging once a month, whether it be Wales or down in England. Of course, we're up in Scotland, so that's like a lot of way out the way. And I've just been left to deal with local shows like my hometown, Glasgow, and all that. So yeah, for future, it's just gigging as much as we can, pushing the album out there as much as we can, get as much radio play as we can, and just taking it as it comes, really, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's something very interesting, because here in North America, we're not even considering gigs, at least to my knowledge. So in the UK, you mentioned England, Wales, and then as well Glasgow. Are gigs something that, are we just like booking it in case, or is it something that is being allowed?
Well, it's crazy thought. It's kind of like, hey, can you take bands even though the whole world's burning around you at the moment? But people are putting things on. Nothing's gone ahead yet. Apparently venues opened 2 days ago in the UK. Don't hold me for word for that. I might be wrong. There's a lot of stuff out there that isn't true. But yeah, fingers crossed they go back. But hey, I wouldn't want to put anyone in a sort of situation where it's kind of like the situation as it is. So just waiting and seeing. But it's killing me, man. Can't wait to get back at it. Yeah, it's what everything do kind of evolves around for that show and all these past decisions for their years and stuff. But yeah, it'll be amazing once it's back open, and I think it'll be a special thing for everyone, because everyone will be appreciate it a lot more, and just the whole vibe of everything. I think it'll go through the roof. I think it's going to be an amazing time once these things go back to normal for everyone. Yeah,
and something you mentioned there was that everyone will appreciate it a lot more, and I know that's probably just an off-the-cuff statement, but I just kind of wanted to dive into that. Did you feel that there's something about shows that maybe was missing, or was that the audience was not appreciating it as much as they might, come 2021?
No, I wouldn't say like that sort of time. I would mean like a lot more people would seem to go out. You don't know what you have until you're gone, and a lot. I don't mean to stereotype, but a lot of people these days typically don't go to as much shows as we used to back in the past. For at least what I've been told. But I think more people will come out afterwards, is what it's kind of meaning.
Wow.
No, it's not just our shows, but everyone's shows,
Yeah.
Like all the local bands and stuff. Sorry?
Very true. Something you had mentioned was this year's gone down the drain. I don't know what you mean by that, Lewis. But I guess my simple question is, and you kind of mentioned, a little bit about it, but diving deeper into the year going down the drain, how has this year changed the course of Royal Bloom, and has it given you guys maybe more time to focus on other things?
Yeah, like definitely looking at it in that sort of way, it kind of has been a blessing in disguise for me, and I can imagine a lot more people as well, because the amount of stuff you have to do, it's really allowed just to sit down, get it all out, get it all out there, kind of take a breather and a step back and just get everything right, on the day when everything's constantly moving. So it's been an absolute blessing in disguise for us, mate.
Wow.
At the same time, but
okay, very, very cool. I'm trying to think if I have any other questions. We seem to have covered everything. The album that's coming up, a couple of the tracks that we chatted about today, what you guys have been up to during these odd times, what the plan is. I guess maybe without giving away too much, if you could let us know about half of the album that's been recorded, what we should expect, and maybe what the plan is going into the other half of the album.
Oh, that's a good point. So basically, the album is just a continuation of the story for the past 5 years. It's been written. This album's been written over the past 3 years, just nitpicking everything. But just kind of got a story I would like to share with everyone, and quite a personal album. But as you said, like throughout the whole lockdown, we've started working on the second album, so we've got all this other material just waiting there to get recorded as well. So we're ahead of ourselves in the ball game, if you'd like to say as well. So yeah,
wow, very, very cool.
It's just
stuff.
kind of a nitty gritty, down to the truth kind of realities that no one likes to talk about, an everyday sort of thing. Kind of something that everyone goes through at one point in life. It should be talked about more. It's kind of that album's pretty much about that sort of side of things.
Okay. Do you feel that that's something that has bubbled up more to the forefront this year? Is it something like, has this year influenced the writing of the album?
Just like every year, man. Every year's a change for everyone, really, and different step in life. A whole new chapter and a whole new different set of situations, depending on what you get yourself into. But yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, Lewis, is there anything else that you wanted to chat about that I did not ask?
No. Well, yeah, actually, hold on. We're actually doing a gig with Danko Jones. I believe they're from Canada.
They are.
Do you know of them? Yeah. We're doing a show with them in Glasgow. We were supposed to do that with them in March, and that was just before the full Corona thing came down to the lockdown. It was devastated about that, because I love Danko Jones, man. Check them out if people listen to them, if you've not heard them. Great band, rock band. But praying to God that still gig goes ahead at King Tut's in Glasgow, because it's an international band, and I don't know how that will work when it comes over during this time, because it's supposed to be in November. But fingers crossed, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually supposed to have them on the show. However, sometimes...
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. But they were on tour, and that can be very difficult to orchestrate and organize sometimes, and it certainly was. And the promotion time frame just kind of closed off, and sometimes that happens. And
yeah, that's a shame when that happens, man.
Yeah. Though luckily that happened with a couple of bands, and then I ended up going backstage when they came through town. So
nice.
Yeah, so it can work out. It's just a matter of. And I'm thinking right now of all of the long list of bands whose backstage passes I had to give up this year.
Oh, no. Yeah. There's always next year, man. It's going to be a good time.
It will be a good time.
It's going to be a fantastic time.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully you guys will be able to pop over to Canada when that happens as well.
Oh, I would love to, mate. I've always wanted to go to Canada. Check that place out. I've got a couple friends there as well. So, yeah, I've only heard good things.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lewis, for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us, John. It's been an absolute pleasure having us.